Alright, I'm running a little bit behind schedule today. It's 1 in the morning instead of midnight. Normally I try to shoot my videos right at midnight to make sure that they're a one-shot, one-take production, but that is not the case tonight. It is 1 o'clock, running behind schedule. I bet I was talked about at work a little bit yesterday because I went into work and cleaned out my locker and took my pictures of Tom Brady off of my locker. Look at that fierce, rugged determination. Look at those eyes. Those eyes say a lot. Now, I had some dangerous stuff in my locker, probably to the point where the federal government would have been called in. Let's see. Yes, this pair of underwear. I have a habit of exercising a lot at work, and sometimes to the point of excess where I need a spare pair of underwear. So, yeah, if they would have cut open my locker with the bolt cutters and found that pair of underwear in there, they probably all would have, hit the deck, run for the hills, or called for an incinerator to burn it. What else did I have in my locker? Protein. Always had a supply of protein for muscles. Gotta have that. And this, another dangerous object in my locker. Peanut butter balls from another era. My buddy SSG Man, his lovely wife, who I've given the nickname Wendigo. And I seem to give everybody nicknames. I don't know why that is. I think that's to protect their identity. Well, SSG Man's lovely life, yes, she is his wife, Wendigo, always makes peanut butter balls. And these peanut butter balls are well over 2 years old because I didn't get any peanut butter balls from Wendigo this year. And my something brave today is I'm going to take a bite of a 2-year-old peanut butter ball and see if it tastes bad. Okay, I like to use the word delicious a lot. No, not very delicious. Okay, peanut butter balls do have a shelf life. So I do not recommend that anybody eats 2-year-old peanut butter balls. The most, I guess, controversial item that I have, well, I had a toothbrush, which is property of the state. When you work those 16-hour shifts and get forced for overtime, sometimes desperation ensues and you need to brush your teeth, otherwise they will rot in your face. So yes, I did take a toothbrush. I guess I'm, making a lot of confessions lately with regards to work, but yes, I took this toothbrush and I used it to brush my teeth. But the most controversial item that I had in my locker by far was my squirt gun. Now, getting this out of my locker was pretty important because a lot of people could probably take this as a very, what's the word, passive-aggressive kind of candy-coated threat. Like, I could have a real gun in my locker. And anybody technically could have a real gun in their locker out at work. And that is not the case. I used to go into what is now, I think, called the overflow room at work. They used to have a big conference room in there with a huge dry erase board. And I would take a dry erase marker, my own dry erase marker, by the way, go in there and just work on that board like a you ever see one of those crazy genius science teachers with the glasses and the chalk just going crazy on the chalkboard, leaving like smoke and dust in the air, kind of like exhaust at the Indy 500, just letting that genius pour onto the chalkboard. Well, I used to do that on that dry erase board at work, and I would think that some people in the powers that be would say, yeah, you should do that again instead of monkeying around with these stupid cameras. these cameras do seem to get me in a lot of hot water. As far as current events go, I used one of these cameras to film a video recently at the credit union next door to work. But technically that is on Winnebago property, so I am going to be disciplined for doing such. And I've done enough stupid things over the last couple weeks that there is definitely enough ammo in the gun to put me down for good. And it's kind of interesting and kind of ironic that that's happened, because they're talking about, well, what's life going to be like if there's no unions? You know, if there's no union to protect you. Here's a video that I'm going to use in the near future. The word of the day is genius. But I'm sure there'd be a lot of people that'd be much happier if I had a dry erase marker in my hand, standing in front of a dry erase board instead of using these cameras each and every day. And I've talked about the phrase, you know, patriot or pinhead many times. Patriot or pinhead. It's probably a pinheaded move, sending a video that I filmed to the boss of the Institute of Winnebago Mental Health. When history is written, I'm sure if they had to say, was that an act of patriotism or pinheadedness, I think all voices and fingers would point to pinhead. But today I do plan on going to work. I hope my grandma's feeling better. I got my Aunt Mary here still helping take care of her. She's going through some troubling times. And this will be the first day in 50 days that I have not taken one of these with me to the workplace. I learned recently that just having this camera in my locked vehicle is against the law for the most part. Well, you know, not pretty much against the rules, but I would say against the law, because Winnebago mental health is state property, and the state makes rules. And one of those rules is you cannot have cameras on the property. Didn't know that. Found that out. So that means I am probably guilty of breaking laws thousands and thousands and thousands of times, because I've had these cameras with me each and every day for almost forever, for well, at least 3 years, since 2009. But yeah, I've been talking about the 10,000-pound blanket. Well, let's talk about Charlie Brown, his buddy Linus, and the security blanket. You know, am I using these cameras as a crutch, as a security blanket, kind of like Linus does on Charlie Brown? That's kind of what I've been thinking. Heroes always become the villain, and you always become what you hate the most. Maybe I'm becoming addicted to these little cameras, and I need them. Kind of like people at work, you know, with their cell phones. It's just, you know, it's tempting to pull that cell phone out and check your text messages. Maybe I have become what I never wanted to become. So what I'm debating is, how am I going to be able to find a balance that I could have this and this in my life. I think that these are going to go away soon, and that's all right. But they don't symbolize my job per se, as they actually do symbolize, you know, what can I do to help contribute to society, you know. Because in the long run, you know, making these video journals probably on the outside did not look like it's making the world a better place each and every day. But when I put on those keys and work each day like it's going to be my last, I do make a difference in the world.